Last year, I spent over 3 months working and living as a volunteer teacher in Southern Africa. I worked with an organization called Hosea's Heart, which is a girls' home and school for victims of human trafficking and abuse and those that may be at risk to those situations. It was the first organization of its kind in that country. The reason I was there last year was because their high school science teacher unexpectedly quit on them, and they didn't have a whole lot of time or resources to quickly hire a new one for the end of their school year. So I was approached and asked if I would be interested in teaching high school science, since I had helped out with Hosea's Heart before. It didn't take long before I said yes, and within a couple weeks I hopped on a plane and spent over 3 months living and teaching in Eswatini, Africa. It was one of the best decisions I had ever made and one of the most rewarding. I absolutely love that country. I love the organization. Totally fell in love with it more than I ever thought I would. And by the time it was over, it just felt way too short, and I couldn't wait to find another excuse to go back. Now, luckily, after I came back here to Wisconsin, after teaching, they were able to find a replacement science teacher for me. So that gap was filled by like a real professional and a local person that they could employ. However, that didn't last very long because that science teacher unexpectedly quit. So that same science teacher that they hired right after I left just quit a couple weeks ago. On top of that, my friend Hannah, who is a full-time missionary and volunteer who helps teach also at Hosea's Heart, she's coming home for a couple months in the fall to visit home, say hi to family, visit for the holidays, things like that. So there's going to be some science teaching gaps for high school science and also some high school math teaching gaps as well because of this. When I learned about this, and I learned that this was coming up very quickly, I reached out to Hosea's Heart again and offered to help because I loved it so much last time and just had such a joy teaching. One thing led to another, we worked out some details, and I got the yes. They would love to have me teach, and so here's the plan currently. The plan is for me to leave right at the very beginning of September, so I have a little bit more time to prep versus last year, which was like a couple weeks. And I'll be staying from the beginning of September to the very end of January. So this time I'm staying for 5 months, believe it or not. And this is to ensure that I fill in as many gaps as I can until the Swazi school year ends. Because the school year in Southern Africa and the surrounding countries actually ends around the same time as the calendar year does. So this is a very important time for them to have all their bases covered so that girls can graduate and move on to the next grade and all those things. So this is where I need your help again. So obviously this is volunteer work, this is missionary work. I'm not getting paid for this, but I do need to fundraise some money to support my time out there and my living expenses out there. So like I said, I'm staying 5 months in this country. I calculated that to cover about 5 months of living expenses, as well as a big plane ticket to South Africa and any sort of travel expenses, I'll need about $4,500 US. Last year, I was offered the opportunity to volunteer very quickly, and I really wasn't able to put a whole lot of things together to fundraise. I simply just had to ask for free will donations, which totally worked, and I'm super grateful for those that did. But I personally had a hard time asking for money without finding a way to give back to you all and to those that supported me. So this time around, I really wanted to place an emphasis on giving back to those that are choosing to support me and this mission in Hosea's Heart. So the first and the easiest option is just to share this video with all your friends, family, whoever. The more eyes this video is seen by, the better. The second option is through free will donations. So similar to what I did last year, I set up a GoFundMe and you could donate there. But this year I have a little added bonus. So last year I really wanted to share what I was doing while I was out there, what everyday life was like, stories, pictures, all that good stuff. But I was very limited to share anything publicly because of the ministry that Hosea's Heart does. They are a girls' safe home and school. They're dealing with women who have been subject to some of the worst things you could think of. And so because of that, we try to protect their identity, and that means no publicly posting like clear photos of any faces, no sharing any details like names or anything that could breach confidentiality or put these women at risk or expose their identity or whatever, XYZ. So I wasn't able to do anything publicly. But this year, I'm creating a private newsletter for anybody who gives me a free will donation on my GoFundMe. So anybody, whether you donate $5 or $500, will have access to this private newsletter. So I'll be taking pictures, videos, doing all the things I normally do, and telling just real Swazi stories of what everyday life is like over there and what I'm doing. And hopefully it will also kind of show you where your donation actually went to and what it's doing. That's kind of like my main goal, so that you can actually see the impact that it's having. So option number 3 is also pretty exciting. It's through fine art photography prints. I've been a photographer for somewhere around 6 years, and I've never sold my work. To fundraise, I thought it'd be a great idea to select some of my favorite images from last year and last year's mission in Africa and sell them as fine art photo prints to give back to those also and to fundraise. So I've selected 4 of my favorite pictures that I took last year and turned them into fine art photography prints. These are not something that I'm printing in-home on some regular paper or Walgreens or whatever. These are printed on a really high quality photo paper in a professional photography print lab to be sent to your homes. These are meant to last as like a beautiful addition to your home as like a piece of art, because it is. This is not some like little home thing where, oh, I'm going to send you a card. This is like real, true fine art, professional quality. It's going to last, and I hope that you'll love it. So if you're someone who's just super generous and is happy to give and see where their money goes in a newsletter, there's an option for you. But if there's someone who would rather have like a physical product and maybe a little story behind that product, then I have an option for you as well. And then the last and really probably the most important way you can support me is just through prayer, just like last year, because I need lots of it to fundraise and figure out all these details and make this happen again. So I would just really appreciate your prayers and your support in that way. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. I'm really happy that this time I'm doing missionary work. I'm just able to actually give back to you all and to those that support me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please donate and help me out if you feel inclined to. And I'm really excited to share this all with you and to hopefully see some cool prints in your home. So once again, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and to hear me out on what I'm doing. It's super exciting to know that I'm going back to teach again and to see some of my former students and meet some new ones. It's really crazy to think that I am now a teacher, I guess. Maybe not professionally, but maybe turning into one, I don't know. Never something that I ever thought I'd be doing, but I'm absolutely loving it. I'm super excited to do it again and to do it for a little bit longer this time. Thank you for enabling me to do that. Thank you to those that support. Thank you for all your prayers, for sharing this video. And I'm just super excited to take you along the journey, many of you, with me this time with that newsletter. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and God bless.